coming up. Looking at me, shit. First and foremost, think about praise and glory to Yahweh Shem Shah, to the honesty of others, the apostles of GMS, great millstone, will do rule and teach well. In today's lesson, we're just going to be getting into some various topics today. Everything should be rolling live, and you should be off, right? Oh, you're not off. So we should start using the stereo driver. So I here nice, bright and early. Gonna make things brief. Really wanted to get out here a little bit quicker, but that's likely. Things won't always go the way you want them to, and that's just the way it is, you know. So as you know, today's Memorial Day, so extra crowded, and as you all know, we're not supposed to be celebrating Memorial Day. Where's my please tell me about it. No, actually I do. No, I got it right here. I'm pretty sure I said double on the CLs and the cost of green millstone, but if I didn't, there y'all got it. You know. So yeah, so this is a book of Psalms. This is 99. Let's see here. CX. Nope, 119. Yeah. This is the book of Psalm 119. Blessed are they. Blessed are the understanding in the way, the walk in the law of the Lord. Part of the law, so we're not supposed to follow the ways of the heathen. Worship the Lord your God, above all else. You're not supposed to be, worshiping this country, doing their own things, celebrating things like Independence Day. As we're talking about Memorial Day. You're not supposed to be worshiping that shit, keeping those holidays, because you have your own holidays. The holiday just goes back to holy day. That's what a holiday is. A holiday is a holy day. Alright? To the masses of the people, this is their holy day. But we have our own holy days that we're supposed to keep. Sabbaths and new moons and things like that, Sabbaths and new moons and things like that, man. Those are our holy days. We got our own ways, right? Blessed are they that keep his testimonies and that seek him with the whole heart. Right? Heart meaning loud. They also do no iniquity. They walk in his ways. That's right, because keeping the faith, I want to do the law, man, will keep you from wanting to do iniquity, which is sin. Alright, thou hast commanded us to keep thy precepts diligently. All that my ways were directed to keep thy statutes. Then shall I not be ashamed when I have respect unto all thy commandments. I will praise thee with uprightness of the heart when I shall have learned thy righteous judgments. I will have keep thy statutes. Oh, forsake me not utterly. That's right. Now, the way you're going to get directed to keep those statutes, i.e., to keep the statutes, laws perfectly, is in the kingdom. When you get that new heart, you get them new bodies. But as for right now, you ain't going to be able to do it, because that's the sin within, because you're in a sinful body right now. So you're not going to keep the commandments perfectly. You're supposed to do it to the best of your ability. Now, forgive me while I fumble around here because my Bible is all kinds of jacked up right now, but I'm actually going to buy a new Bible. Right after I'm done with this, I'm going to go run out to Barnes & Noble's because it's one not too far, so should be like a 20-minute walk, which is good cardio. Help me lose some extra fat and stuff. This is the book of I'll just start from the top. Jude, the servant of Yahushua Mashiach and brother of James, to them that is sanctified by the Most High the Father and preserved in Yahushua Mashiach and called, mercy unto you and peace and love be multiplied. Beloved, when I gave all diligence to write unto you of the common salvation, right, which will be of the chariots, if you're being saved, the salvation of your soul, because true salvation, the salvation of your soul, like it says in 1 Peter, like the end of your salvation is the salvation of your soul. Alright? This is the book of 1 Peter chapter 1 verse 9, receiving the end of your faith, even the salvation of your souls. Alright, and what's the salvation of your souls? The chariot. Okay? Getting that new body, we should not all sleep, but we shall all be changed. So that is the salvation of your soul. That's the way you're going to be saved. That is your entire salvation. That's the end of your faith, or the result of your faith. That's the ending point. Alright, like the end of your hard work when you prepare for a bodybuilding show is to lose enough fat and be lean enough and show enough muscularity to win a competition. The end of your faith, meaning the result of your hours of hard work, hours of suffering, hours of solitude, will be the salvation of your soul, i.e. the kingdom, i.e. new bodies, i.e. Salvation through the chariots, all those things combined. It was needful for me to write unto you and exhort you that you should earnestly contend for the faith which was once delivered unto the saints. Saints are Israelites, or holy people, separated people. For there are certain men crept in unawares who were before of old ordained to this condemnation, ungodly men, turning the grace of God Most High to lasciviousness, denying the Lord power in our Lord, Yahushua Mashiach. Right? These are the other Israelite camps, man. You 2/3 and some of you wicked men that make your ways into, GMS. You guys that are you make your way in there in the spirit. Always expose these guys, man, because these guys, they get kicked out eventually. And then they may keep camping for a little bit, but they're doing it for pride's sake. They're not doing it because they're actually sincere and they actually want to teach. They're doing it because they're prideful. Alright, and they want to show, look at me, I'm still out here. Alright, but time after time, eventually these guys are gonna, fall out. My brothers talk about these guys, brothers be like, hey, this guy, look, he got married now. He fell out the truth, he don't teach no more, and now he's married. Or he fell out the truth, and now he got a kid. That happens time after time. So I'm really fucking thirsty. I've been walking like 40 minutes, 20, 30 minutes or so, because I got lost. But now I know how to get here, and I get here a little bit faster. Right? Was going through memory lane for a little bit because I haven't been here in like I want to say 10 months. You know. I'll therefore put your remembrance, though you once knew this, how the Lord, having saved the people of the land of Egypt, afterward destroyed them that believed not. Right? Afterward destroyed them that believed not, and that was that death of that generation. You know, we know that generation that left Egypt, Moses included, they didn't get a chance to make it to the promised land, and that was actually a shadow of what was to come with the 2/3. They basically were foreshadowed as the 2/3 because this is the generation that was brought to Egypt, but they basically loved Egypt and loved the ways of Egypt, and they didn't stay, they didn't survive, they didn't get a chance to make it. The only people out of that generation that actually made it was Joshua and someone else. I can't remember his name, but it was Joshua and someone else. They were the only people out of that generation who made it. We know that Joshua followed Moses. Alright, verse 6, the angels kept not the first estate, but left their own habitation. He hath preserved an everlasting change in the darkness unto the judgment of the great day. Alright, now, angels, which I believe is angelos in the Greek, it doesn't always have to mean people, you know. I believe there were certain prophets, they called the angel the Lord. Alright, angel, the word angel, only means messenger. It doesn't mean anything else. The word angel means to be a messenger. Okay? So that's what that is. And sometimes, even nowadays, people call you, oh, he's an angel. You know, oh, you're such an angel. Okay? It's like a figure of speech in a way, you know? But it just means like you're a messenger of the Most High, because that's what angels are. Angels do the bidding, they're messengers of the Most High. They do the Most High's will and order. Alright? Right here, preserved in everlasting change in the darkness until the judgment of the great day. Yeah, that's right. So that everlasting change of darkness is these bodies, man. These wicked, sinful bodies that we're currently inhabiting. Let's see, Matthew 15. Yeah, it's the book of Matthew, chapter 15. Yeah, I'll start here. Matthew 15:7. Ye hypocrites, well did Isaiah prophesy of you, say, this people draw nigh unto me with their mouth, and honoreth me with their lips, but the heart is far from me. But in vain they do worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men. Alright, and this is basically talking about the Pharisees, you know, and their traditions of men. Like certain things, of course, they were keeping the commandments and stuff, but certain things were just traditions of men. Different things that they had, certain traditions that they had, and they were trying to like get on Yahushua and cut Yahushua. Yahushua was cutting them back, because they were doing it in vain for like pride and stuff like that. And they were all about power. You know, the Pharisees were all about keeping political power. You know, they were all about keeping their power seat with the Romans. You know, and being all buddy with the Romans. That was their thing. That's one of the reasons why they didn't like Yahushua, because Yahushua was he was seen as like a liability, seen as someone like, oh man, this guy here, he's gonna mess up our deals with the Romans, and he's gonna get us all fucked up. Because with the Romans, I believe they gave the why not believe I know they gave them everything. Like they let the Pharisees and people pretty much do their own traditions and keep their own ways. But the only thing that they wanted to do, the Roman Empire wanted them to do, is that they came to anything with criminals, that they let them do it. They let them handle any sort of criminal or judicial action. You know, think about like the reservation. Right? They let the people on the reservation, Gad, Reuben, rock out on the reservation, but they don't let them like they have to have like their own police. Like they have their own police, but they can only like judge people within their own borders. And I believe they can only like hold these guys and detain them. They can't actually like arrest them or, you know, pass judgment on them. They have to like hand them to actual, you know, law enforcement. All right. So let's see here. Verse 10, when he called them and said unto him, hear and understand, not that which goeth into the mouth defileth the man, but which cometh out, this defileth the man. Alright? And this represents actions, alright? Because we're going to have to go to Mark, the 7th chapter, to get more of an understanding. I'm going to give you the breakdown. Quick second. This is the book of Mark, chapter 7, verse 15. There's nothing from without a man enter into him can defile him, but things which come out of him, those they that defile the man. If any man have ears to hear, let him hear. And when he entered into the house from the people, the disciples asked him concerning the parable. He said unto him, are you so without understanding also? Or do you not get it? Do you not perceive that whatsoever from without entered into man cannot defile him? Because that which entered into his heart, but not into the belly, but into the belly, but going out into the draught, purging all meats. He said that which comes out of the man, that defileth the man. For from within, out of the heart of men, receive evil thoughts, adulteries, fornications, murders, thefts, covetousness, wickedness, deceit, lasciviousness, an evil eye, blasphemies, pride, foolishness. All these evil things come from within and defile the man. Okay? So all these things come from within and defile the man, because all these things start as wicked thoughts, i.e. demons, and then these things defile the man because, you know, some people, they eat those thoughts, alright? They eat the thoughts, and then they actually go out and do it. And that's why, you know, it's so interesting, at least to me, when I watch things like, you know, serial killers and stuff like that. I'll go check out like some things, a documentary about like a serial murderer, you know, and I'll see how these guys act, and it's always, these things start as thoughts, you know, and they'll maybe have like a little journal where they'll write, you know, things down, or a manifesto, and then they went out and actually did it, you know, like you know, you can see the signs all there, or even like the things that they do, like they may have like an art page. But you look at the art is hideous, and it's like grim and evil and stuff like that. You're drawing people getting heads chopped off, and, you know, stuff like that. People getting gunned down in the streets and some weird shit like that. Not even like making like a story or anything, just drawing violence for the sake of violence, you know. And then they actually go ahead and do it. All right. So let's go back into here. I was like trying to look at the long, they be blunt, these the blunt, that and understand that it's, you know, it's a drug, murders. So yeah, that was my point there. So we know we're not supposed to be celebrating these holidays and dealing with these things, man. You know, following no Memorial Day or, you know, any sort of Independence Day, none of that garbage. Alright? If you want to know what you should be following, you know, get yourself a Bible, open it up, start reading, man. You know, start reading some scriptures, and then you'll understand what you're supposed to be doing. You're not supposed to be celebrating no American fucking holidays. Alright? Like someone to go get my iPad real quick. Because I don't even really, I got like a rough idea what Memorial Day is kind of about, but I want to see what it's, I want to look it up though. Because I don't really fucking know. I haven't celebrated this bullshit in like fucking years, man. Like, I stopped celebrating when I moved upstate and I was like away from home and shit. I ain't celebrate this shit. I was never really into that. Even before I found the truth. Even before I found the truth, I was never really into that shit. I wasn't into a lot of things when I was younger, but I was only into lifting weights and getting swole. Still am, but into other things too. Alright, so Memorial Day, originally known as Declaration Day, is a federal holiday in the United States for honoring and mourning U.S. personnel who died while serving in the U.S. Armed Forces. It is observed on the last Monday of May from 1868 to 1970. It was observed on May 30th. That's what that really means. But we're not supposed to be celebrating and worshiping this place. Alright? Let's see here. Put not a king over you. Let's get the commandment. Put not a king over you. Because you're not supposed to put foreigners over you. Hi, you have a question?
I was just wondering what this represents.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't been here in years, so I don't know. Yeah. This is the book of Deuteronomy 17, verse 15. Those shall sit over you, king over you. Yeah. This is the book of Deuteronomy, 17, verse 15. Alright. Let's see. I'll go get this real quick. Oh, god damn. What am I doing? This thing is not working at all, bro. This isn't working. Why won't this fucking work? Oh, what the hell? What did I do? This shit's glitching out. This is glitching out, bro. Why is it doing that though?
No, that's not
Alright, we're gonna look this up. The classical way. Yeah, this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 17, verse 15. Thou shalt set him in any wise, thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom the Lord thy power, thy God shall choose. One from among thy brethren shalt thou set king over thee. Thou mayest not send a stranger over thee, which is not thy brother. Alright, so not only we're not supposed to be voting, we're not supposed to be honoring anything to do with these presidents and their militaries and any of this nonsense, man. It has nothing to do with us. And plus, these militaries are the same people who have been ordained to, attack our people, man. So let's go ahead and get Isaiah, the 10th chapter. Let's go ahead. Please let's just repent this time. Judgment, if you glory without me, you shall bow the prisoners that shall follow the sun. Yeah, I'll just read this. Isaiah 10 and 1, woe unto them that decree and righteous decrees, that right grievousness, which they have prescribed, turn aside the needy from judgment, to take away the right of the poor. Love my people, that widows may be their prey, and may rob the fatherless. Alright. Skipping down. Verse 5, O Assyrian, the rod of my anger, and the staff in their hand is my nation. Right, the staff, their power. Alright, and their power is their military. Alright, that's their armed wing. The military, the police, they're the armed wing. Alright, so we know that the wicked is the Lord's sword, it's the Lord's whooping stick. What are we doing celebrating the Lord's whooping stick? The same military that has been used to destroy our people, man. Deuteronomy 28 and I think 40 will tell them, nations shall come from, was the east, as fast as the eagle, you should not spare young or old. Yeah, that's what happened. They came over to America and they had their militaries and their soldiers come down here and wreak havoc on our people, man. Alright, like literally the U.S. cavalry, straight up, Wounded Knee Massacre, these regiments, they killed our people, man. Murdered Gad, shot them down with a machine gun, raped them, they were cutting babies open and shit. Spanish were doing that. They were fucking burning people alive because they learned that shit from Europe. That's the shit that they were doing, like to each other, with like those witch hunts and shit. And they brought that shit and they did that to the Northern Kingdom wherever they found them. Which was wicked. Which I mean, from one level, the Northern Kingdom deserved it because they were doing wickedness. They were going off too. But that was overboard, man. They took it to a new level. They annihilated those populations to the point now there's like a very, small remnant of them that's even still living and breathing. We killed a large amount. All right. Now, sin against his hypocritical nation, against the people of my wrath will I give him a charge to take the spoil and to take the prey and to tread them down at the mire of the street. Hypocritical, godless, profane, hypocrite, irreligious. Alright, that's our people. Our people are irreligious, man. They don't religion just means to bind. They're not binded by anything. They have that, and you can see them the way they talk. They have that mind state. They just mix and match different things and just call it something new. And that's what these niggas do. They mix and match their own thing. They're all about doing their own thing. Not about getting under any sort of order. I'll send them against the hypocritical nation, against the people of my wrath, right, which represents Israel. Will I give him a charge to take the spoil, to take the prey, and to tread them down at the mire of the streets. And if I'm correct, mire is like cement, heap, clay. But I believe I heard the Apostle Gabar say it's more like shit, like earthed, okay, like dirt, dirt, shit, and that semi hypocritical nation. People of my wrath, what is it? What am I looking for? There's something else I'm thinking of. I'm pretty sure the staff also represents like these various police groups. But the point is, we're not supposed to be celebrating and worshiping soldiers and having a memorial day for soldiers when these same soldiers go all over the earth, robbing, stealing, and killing. And like Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, he keepeth not at home. And he doesn't keep at home. I think they might be kicking me out. This shouldn't be a public area though. So I shouldn't be getting kicked out. No, I'm not getting kicked out. I'm fine. Because sometimes these guys have to play games. Like you'll be in like a public area and they'll tell you, oh, you gotta leave because someone will complain. Which is a bunch of baloney because I didn't even do nothing. Let's get back to the scriptures here. Why is it doing this? chapter 10. Let's go. This is, this minded nation, Assyrians. We should know what the Syrians represent, right? The staff in my hand is minding the nation. Alright, so yeah, so the staff is the various police groups. I think I explained that staff represents power, which is the military. Alright, so you shouldn't be worshiping, police or military groups and celebrating their holidays and, things like that. Also, we know this scripture also, let's get yoked. I don't know where this is in the scriptures, so I'm gonna have to look this one up. I was gonna look it up last night, but I was too tired. Once I work out and stuff, and then go home and then I have to do chores and help out around the house and stuff. By the time I'm done with all that, and I'm finished with that, I'm pretty much done. I'm ready to pack it in for the day. So 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 14, be not unequally yoked together with unbelievers, for what fellowship have righteousness with unrighteousness, or what communion have light with darkness. Alright, so that's right, you're not supposed to be, shacking up with unbelievers, man, and going to cookouts and shit. There's scriptures that go into, I can't remember where it is in Corinthians, it talks about the meats given unto idols and things like that. But if you were to go there to eat, don't be, scripture says don't be over righteous. So you could technically go out there, go eat food and whatever, but I would just say go eat your food and dip out. Like I don't be, shacking up with them like that. I may just go get some food and dip. So let's get Second Corinthians 6 and 14, because I think I can get some extra precepts. No, there isn't anything extra, at least not in here. Let's see what's in Sirach 33 and 14. Good is set against evil and life against death. So is the godly against the sinner, and the sinner against the godly. Yeah, that's right. So we're not to be shacked up together. We're different. There's a difference between men such as myself and everyone else. We're not the same. So here, Amos 3 and 3, can two walk together except they be agreed? That's right. Can two walk together except they be agreed? Alright, so can two walk together? Move down a little bit further. This is good. I'm about to have to leave. Alright, he left. Fuck. This is one of the reasons why I fucking hate fucking people sometimes, man. I mean, I do hate everyone, but people just come by and just smoke as a damn demon. Can't just let a brother teach in peace, man. Can't let a young brother just teach in peace. Get into some precepts and then dip the fuck out. Because I don't belong out here. When I go outside, I have a job to do. I don't just fucking come outside to hang out. Fuck. They want to be around these fucking people. Amos 3 and 3. Can two walk together except they be agreed? Because they can't. Let's see, what else do we got here? 2 Thessalonians 3 and 14. If any man obey not our word by his apostle, note that man and have no company with him, that he may be ashamed. That's right. And that's what we do. That's what the elders made their order. Say, hey man, we're not doing no unity camps, just putting it out there again. And hell, they even extended it to brothers like me, man. No unity camps with non-GMS camps. Alright, and that's them putting their foot down and making their order. But am I gonna say, oh, that's you? You didn't say that, well, you can't talk to brothers that are GMS affiliated. They didn't say that. They just said you can't camp with them. When you camp with GMS, and that's it. All right, and I'm gonna respect that. Now if anyone contacts me outside of their camp and say, hey, what's going on? Or say you want to talk or something, or they reach out to me, then yeah, sure. It's all love. But I'm not like, maybe I'll go out to their camp, but I'm not going to be on the other side with them. I'll stay on the other side, maybe jot some notes down. If I'm invited out there, then I'll, dip out, be on my merry way, because I'm not in that camp. So what the fuck is the point of me standing around? Hanging around like a fucking, I don't know. Ephesians 5 and 6. Let no man deceive you, vain works, because of these things come the wrath of God upon the children of disobedience. Children of disobedience, the 2/3. Okay, so let's get one last thing. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 1. This shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him, that made no account of his labors. Because these people, right, stand in great boldness, right, of him, of such as have afflicted him. Who is the such that have afflicted him? Okay, who's the ones that are afflicting us the most? So-called white man. Alright, so what has afflicted us the most? What's afflicted black people, so-called black, Hispanic, Native American people the most? The white man. And afflicting us to this day. They come into office, they claim that they're going to do all these things for black people, but they always say, oh, and then when they say things like that, then they do things for minorities in general. So they do things for the East Indian man, for the Chinese man. They give them tangible things, and they neglect, black people. It's called benign neglect. All right. Verse 2. When they shall see it, they shall be troubled with amazing fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of their salvation, so far beyond all that they looked for. Okay, and that's the chariots, it's the strangeness of their salvation, because no one ever seen. Well, I mean, it's happened on time before, but people haven't seen that. That's strange to the people now. But this isn't the first time someone's been beamed up in a chariot. Of course, I think it happened to Elijah. And it also happened to Enoch. The scriptures will tell you about him too. These are men that were righteous on earth. The Lord didn't want them to see death, so he literally beamed them up before they went on to spirit world. Died naturally. He just beamed them up, because he still went to spirit world, of course, because they're reincarnated. So, right. Verse 3, for in their repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit, they shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometimes in derision and proverb of reproach, right? Because the curses that came to us, they were allowed to be able to do those things. How is he numbered among the children of God, and his lot among the saints? Therefore have we erred from the way of truth, and the light of righteousness hath not shined unto us, and the sun of righteousness rose not upon us. I'm pretty sure the light of righteousness, that would have to be Yahushua, like the sun of righteousness. Not like the sun as in sun, as in S-O-N-S-E, S-U-N-N-E, because Yahushua is called the morning star, because he also represents the day in Ezekiel, the 7th chapter. Well, it really represents us being, in the kingdom, but it references the sun and things like that. It represents the morning star. I'm gonna go get I'm gonna get this, and then I'm gonna close out. So yeah, the regrets of the wicked on that day, right? So your family, these people in the world, they're gonna go, oh shit, you treat that guy like dog shit. Now look at him. Alright, so this is the book of Wisdom of Solomon 5 and 3, and this is Good Nose translation. Then they will regret what they did, and groaning in anguish they will say to each other, while destruction is coming, this is the one we made fun of. We thought he was a joke. What fools we were. We thought he was crazy to live the way he did, and when he died, we didn't honor him. Now here he is, one of God's own children, with a place of his own among God's people. We were the ones who wandered off the right road. We never lived in the right light of righteousness. We never caught the first glimmer of the light. And that's right. They never wanted to live with the word. So I'm not wrong by saying it represents Yahushua, because they didn't want to live with the word. They didn't want Yahushua to deal with them. And I'm not referring to the heathen, I'm really referring to Jake. They didn't want to give it a chance. They didn't even give, this truth. They didn't give Yahushua a chance. They didn't worship Yahushua. They denied Yahushua. Yahushua denied them before the Father. And now, they died. They reached their end, and they will be numbered to the sword among the rest of the 2/3. Alright? I'm actually going to continue reading. Verse 7, we worried ourselves in the way of wickedness and destruction, yet we have gone through deserts where lay no way, but as for the way of the Lord, we have not known it. For what hath pride profited us? Of what good have riches with our vaunting brought us? Alright, so let's see here. Verse 7, all our lives we wandered across unmarked deserts instead of following the road which the Lord wanted us to travel, and this lawlessness led us to ruin. We're so proud of ourselves. We bragged about how rich we were, and now what good has it done us? Yo, man, this is the way these people are really going to be thinking. They're going to really regret it. Your family, flossing and this and that. What good are those riches going to do? That's why the scriptures talked about spiritual riches, or where fly no moth does corrupt, because of earthly riches, they get corrupted. They decay, they rust. Right, buying a car, your car, you got to, clean up the rust. You have to clean the car. You have to, maintain it and things like that, because it decays. Money, as easy as you get money, you lose it. And really you have to lose money to get money anyway. The more you invest, the more money you'll have to spend. And some people, they have so much money, they just have to spend it, because it's like, it's going to have all this money in all these different banks. They have to put them into something, So, actually, I think I'm going to close off for today. I made all my points. In short, you're not supposed to be celebrating no damn Memorial Day. As I said, Isaiah the 10th chapter, all Syrian, the rod of the Lord's anger, these various police groups, they're the Lord's, they're not the Lord's, they're the Syrians. Well, they are the Lord's. They're all controlled by the Lord, but they're the Syrians' staff or his power. These military soldiers, okay? So you're not supposed to be worshiping, the soldiers or the power of the Syrians. These are the same people that take your people down. These are the same people who are going to hunt us down, us men of the Lord, and drag us away and murder us, put us in concentration camps for torture, and then they're going to eventually guillotine us, cut our heads off, because there's multiple ways. They want to sell our organs. Also, they want to basically kill us in a way where they're pretty certain that we're not going to get back up. They want to make double certain that we're not going to get back up. Alright, so I'm going to go close out. I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushua. And double honors to the elders and apostles of GMS, Great Millstone, will do well and teach well. And I'm done. And I made my points. Shalom.